Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Thrashcast. Wow. Ken, what episode is it? Is it 88?
86.
86. Jesus
Holy
Christ, I didn't even write that
balls.
down. Like, here I'm
That's
hosting.
okay.
I don't even know my own shit.
Wow.
What's wrong with me?
No worries.
Anyways, as usual, I'm here with Ken, and we have a special guest this evening with Jason DeVille
Yes, sir.
from Allfather Metal, who's taking up, coming in and subbing for Billy, who's on the mend right now. We wish Billy all health and happiness, and hopefully he gets on the mend quick and he comes back. But right now, filling in the driver's seat here is Mr. Jason DeVille. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me in, guys. And like you said, we well wishes to Billy. I'm sure he'll be watching this. So
Yeah, he will.
we do want to get your take on this album, Billy, at some point. I think we know it. I think you guys know it.
I already know it. I already
Yeah.
know his take. He's already
All
told
right.
me.
We'll get to that. We'll throw it in there. Yeah.
But just a quick blurb. Jason comes from Allfather, and I believe you guys are because me and Ken are definitely writers there. What is it? 10,000 subscribers now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We crossed the threshold just at the new year. So
Yeah. That's awesome.
Awesome.
yeah, just over a year in existence. That's pretty good. And we're trucking along.
Yeah.
Got
No,
the
it's
All-Father
exciting,
logo
exciting
behind
stuff.
you.
That is.
There it is. Yes.
Exciting stuff. So make sure you definitely go over and check out Allfather Metal as well. Where you can find us, well, it's pretty easy. We talk about this every time, but you can just go into YouTube, type in Thrashcast. We'll come up with all our episodes. We're part of the sort of under the Horror Metal Sounds umbrella. And Ken, we are at what is it, 12,200 subscribers now?
12,200 subs.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. It's all good.
Yeah. No, that's growing exponentially, and so is Thrashcast. We're really excited.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find us on Rumble. If you're driving in your car, you want to listen to Spotify, we're on there as well, and we're on YouTube. So
That's how Kim and I consume this show.
Yeah,
In the car. Yeah.
nice.
It's great.
Which is
Then
cool.
we don't have to look at your beautiful mugs.
No, you did not.
Well,
Did you
we don't want to give you any sort of competition with Kim there. So yes, don't listen. Our beautiful faces will stay off the screen.
There's room for all beautiful faces. It's all good.
Yeah.
That's cool. So tonight, obviously, as we spoke about, we're going to be discussing the new Exodus album, Goliath, which
I
is,
got mine here. Ooh.
in my mind, is a masterpiece, but we'll get to that later. But before we get started, just a few just open, like we usually have our opening segment here. Any news or what you're spinning? Ken, do you want to take us away?
Yeah, this is actually a pretty kind of a big enough news dump, if you want to say. For me though, like it's a little on the sad side because this week, and of all people, Scotty I saw his announcement that Sam Keith had passed away, and if you're a comic book fan, Sam is a long known artist for like working on Lobo, Batman, Sandman, and of course Scott worked with Sam on the 2-issue Lobo series that Scott wrote for DC, and Sam did the art. So yeah, it was kind of sad. It's just so funny that happened to see Scott's post, and Scott was kind of I guess he was kind of devastated by it because he's a huge like comic book fan too. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It really kind of sucked. But we're all getting older, so as we get older in life, all our heroes just seem to be like fading away one at a time.
Yeah.
2025 and 2026.
Oh,
Man, it's a kick in the nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then, of course, I saw this week as well. Like, Charlie's been talking again, and he's mentioned, so he's gone on and saying, and I don't know if this is a pun, like maybe this is the name of the song. He said it's a banger of the first song's a banger, so it's in quotes. So I don't know if that's the actual name of the song, And he says it's going to be a love letter to the fans. Someone
Nice.
said that's kind of interesting. He also said, in quotes, the album is very strange. So I don't know if that was him tipping off and saying the name of the album is very strange. I don't know, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. So we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of
And we got to wait till September now, right?
yeah, you know what, Jason? You never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, May come and it's like, oh no, it's not coming out to whenever October, November, but they're saying September, so
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Which,
all good time.
what is this, like the second push, third push back on?
I think it's the
Oh
third.
man.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
like
three already.
we're in constant limbo here with this thing, man. It's
Although,
getting
well, they did
frustrating.
say that they did tease they actually might play a full song in Australia as they're currently there now touring.
And I heard that the single might drop in May, the first
Yeah,
single.
that's what they're saying. But
Yeah.
we'll
We'll
Jim and I
see.
are like fingers are crossed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a masterpiece. So I'm worth waiting.
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
I'm a little, I didn't know that, but when you mentioned that Charlie said that it's weird, that has me a
Yeah, he said
little
very strange. So I
very
don't know if that was
strange.
like him saying the album is called Very Strange. I don't know.
Or the music contained within,
Yeah,
possibly very strange.
that's what he said. He said, if I'm paraphrasing, but he kind of said that the album, the album is sort of like the way he put it was like the album, the music currently suits their current situation in life. So I don't know what that means, but that's what he
Right, right.
said. So I thought that was a bit kind of like I don't know, it was weird,
I
but
feel like at this point, and I know that Scott has been like this previously, I feel like they're trolling us now.
Oh yeah.
well, they
To
probably
some
are.
degree, especially with all these little drops, hints, things of that
Yeah,
nature,
yeah.
which you can take in many different contexts, right? So I think they get off on keeping us, the carrot
Yeah,
dangling.
I think it's the touring thing, to be honest. I think like they just
Oh
come off
yeah,
of the
yeah,
big Canada tour. They're in
yeah,
Australia now. Now they
yeah,
just signed up for I think 4 dates in France
yeah.
in June. So I think they're just building it up like a machine. And I think it's working. I mean, I'm so excited to hear this new song and I'm excited to hear the new album. I think it's going to be I'm
Yeah,
already penciling it into my top 3 of the year and I haven't even heard anything yet.
yeah. I saw an interview with Scott the other day. It was a recent interview, and he said, "You guys think you
yeah.
know, you're waiting for this." He's like, "What about us? This thing's been in the bag forever." He's like, and we're just sitting on it. He's like, "I want everyone to fucking hear this." He's like, "8 people have heard this album." He's like, "We want the world to hear this." So
Yeah.
they're getting frustrated too, I think. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
they want it out there.
Oh yeah. Of course. Of course.
But
And
you
then
know, politics, record label politics, and all that shit. And
oh
I'm
yeah.
sure
There's
there's
always something involved, right?
yeah,
There's
yeah.
always something involved. And then so yeah, and Iron Maiden apparently is now stating that they're done as of 2027. They're going to take the whole year off. So
Really?
yeah, that's what they're saying. So apparently, the Run for Your Lives World Tour will end in November in
Hmm.
Japan, and then that's it. They're taking a year off. So I thought that was interesting. So they won't be back in touring until 2028.
I wonder if that will be with a new album. Probably.
Yeah, it
Well,
probably will.
it's possible. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's possible. So I
Maybe we'll
thought,
get
oh,
some information from the new movie too. Who knows?
oh yeah,
Uh,
maybe yeah, and that's
yeah,
coming out in May.
yeah, yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
yeah. Me too. Yeah.
Can't wait to watch
Yeah.
it. And I'm going to throw in this one small tidbit because I just found this out. Apparently, vinyl, for all you like vinyl record freaks who collect vinyl,
Yes.
apparently the sales right now for vinyl for 2025 is over 1.1 billion in sales,
Yep.
which they're
Wow.
saying is the best since 1983.
I
Holy
I heard
shit.
that.
That's crazy.
Is this across all genres or just
Yeah, no, it's
All
like
genres.
all
yeah?
genres. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I was when I heard that I was like, "What? Are you serious?"
Well, Taylor Swift accounts for 1
Oh,
billion of those.
yeah, probably. But 1.1 billion, that's
It's
pretty
impressive.
yeah. So for all you like vinyl freaks who are collecting vinyl, and I have lots of friends who do. I don't personally, but
I'm not
I think
surprised.
physical media is on the rise.
what's
Yeah,
that?
yeah, Yeah, all
Jason?
physical medias. Yeah,
Yeah.
video games as well.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, we have to take into account how much is the average vinyl. What is it, like $40 now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like triple the cost of CDs.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. An average CD is like $22.
Yeah,
Between 20 to,
and
I guess.
quadruple the cost of a digital copy of the album.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it's making that much money. So
Yeah. I mean, this was $20 when I picked this up.
Same. Yeah. I
yeah,
paid $20 on Amazon.
And
are
then
you
when I
gonna get
picked
it
up,
on vinyl, Jimmy?
No,
No.
I don't have. I don't have a turntable. I only collect. I only have Metallica and anything that I love the covers of.
Oh,
And I
okay.
don't even open them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Temple of Void?
yeah, Temple of Void is
Yeah.
$20 as well. Got that too. So
Amazing album.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. You turned me
Yes.
onto that one. I've been listening to it pretty
I
much
love it.
nonstop. So
Yeah.
I love it. All right, that's all I have for this week, Jim.
Yeah. Jason, do you have anything? I know you guys are getting ready to go to a couple of festivals coming up.
yeah, yeah. We're heading to Norway and then Germany next week. See some live music, hang out with friends. But for news, I only have one news item that I'm going to throw out there. Just found out today that Norwegian symphonic black metalers Dimmu Borgir are releasing their brand new single from their coming album tomorrow at 1.
Nice.
So they're dropping a
Nice.
video, dropping the song and video. So it's the first new music since 2018.
Wow.
Super, super excited.
Long time.
Yeah, yeah. I think the black metal world is ready and primed for this one. Apart from that, what have I been listening to? I've just been listening to a lot of pre-release single stuff.
Mhm.
Really, like New Vomitory, the couple tracks from that. Fucking seller. I know that you're reviewing it, Jimmy, for All Father, so
Oh yeah.
you're loving it, right?
Love it, man. I've listened
Yeah.
to it like 20 times.
It's so good.
Oh, nice.
So good. The new Dark Throne song, been spinning that quite a bit. Oh, the other day, I think on Friday, Samael released a brand new track, which is fucking awesome. It's been
Oh,
a
I
long
haven't heard
time.
that yet.
Yeah, long time since they. It's very, very Samael, very industrial black metal.
Okay. Cool.
Very cool, symphonic. I think you'll really dig it, Ken.
The Dark Throne song
Awesome.
was pretty good. I really like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's good.
Listening to the new 6 Feet Under track, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Probably their best thing since Haunted, way back in '94. So, and a couple new tracks from the Melvins. I've listened to quite a bit.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the brand new album, the collab album with Napalm Death. So looking forward to that.
Cool.
And
Wicked.
that's basic, and the Temple of Void. So that's basically it.
Nice. Well, I don't have much either. I got the new Exodus album for physical copies. I just got a couple of older Dream Theater stuff, and not really. I haven't been really buying much this week, but I did get the new Vomitory promo for the new album, and I'll have my review done soon. It's amazing. The new Corrosion of Conformity. Thank you, Jason, for sending me that. That is going to be in my 15 both these albums are fantastic. The new Vomitory is wicked. Probably my favorite death metal. Oh man, it's just amazing. The new Corrosion of Conformity is great, and the two singles from the new Nervosa album are kicking ass as well. I really like that. I think that album's going to be really good and going to rank really high for people. So no, some great stuff on the horizons. And I heard Jungle Rot has a new album coming out.
I thought
Yes,
they broke
yes,
up.
yes.
No,
No, they didn't break up. No.
oh, so
I'm
cool.
excited about that, dude.
Oh no, I'm thinking of, I don't know. I get these two confused sometimes. Cannabis Corpse broke up.
Oh,
Yeah, Cannabis Corpse. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I lumped those two together. I think I saw them together once, so now I just lumped them together. But that's cool. Yeah, I've seen Jungle Rot. They're awesome.
Love Jungle Rot.
Oh, that's wicked. The single is amazing, and the album cover is great.
I love that album cover.
Oh man, it's just so cool. But that's all I got, guys. So we'll just skip right into Exodus here. So I'm not going to go through a whole band synopsis because we've done a couple of their albums already. But one thing, we'll just go through a couple, not really questions, just a few things we can talk about. Ken, what do you guys think of the album art? Ken, so you're a resident artist. What do you think?
All right, so let's talk about this. This is a good one, and I'm glad you brought it up. I want to clear the air because I'm sick of hearing about it. Everyone
Okay.
says it's AI, and it's not AI. It's an actual piece done by an artist by the name of Par Olsen. Um, Par has been doing many covers for many bands over the years, so it's not like he's a newcomer to the scene. Now Par works just so people know. Par works basically he pencils out his pieces and then he scans it and then he digitally paints it. That's his method. So I wanted to say this about this album. I I, I didn't like the cover at first, but
Hmm.
now that I have it in hand and I've looked at it many times, it's grown on me a little bit. Now, what I wanted to say about this for me, this is just so people know. Um, a lot of Parr's work, he uses a lot of cool colors. Doesn't use a lot of warms, so it's all cool colors. If you go back, if you just Google his name, you'll see the stuff he's done. Now, with this piece here, the one thing I wanted to bring up was that there's there's a lot of warm colors here. So usually in illustration, cool colors will descend and warm colors will recede. So I think what's throwing people off is like this orange, just orange, which just drapes right around the figure. It threw me off at first, and I know it has a very kind of old school, early '80s kind of like really bad early '80s demo style art. That's kind of how I think it's a throwback. But I like it. I actually don't mind it. I've actually looked at it and I'm looking at the figure and I'm looking at all the information in there, like the eyes that it's got all these eyes in the arms, and it's like, oh, it's actually a cool piece. It just
Hmm.
took me a time to get used to it. And I know, Jim, you and I have discussed this with Billy a lot, that when it comes to Exodus, they were never really good with cover art. The
Right. Yeah.
classic albums are all garbage. The covers are terrible. It wasn't until 2000 when they did Tempo is when they started to actually embrace the idea of having good, solid covers.
Yeah.
So I think it's a decent. I think it's really decent. I don't mind it. And if you go on the inside, you got these, which
Yeah.
are done by Bob Terrell. And if you don't know who Bob is a very accomplished tattoo artist and artist in his own right. So I like these. These are nicely done. So yeah, so it's as a piece, I don't mind it. I actually think this is a pretty solid work for me. It just took some time for me to get used to it, but I needed to have it in hand for me to kind of really maybe fully appreciate it. But I think it's okay. I think
You
it's
know
okay.
what, Ken? It was my 10-year-old daughter told me when she looked at it, well, look at the eyes and the arms, and I didn't even know.
Yeah,
She
that's
went,
what I'm
oh
saying.
yeah.
I didn't notice it either until I actually had bought the CD and I was like, oh, I see now. I see what's going on here.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay. It's just the orange kind of throws you off,
Yeah. Yeah.
but anyways, that's my little
Jason,
rant.
what's your thoughts, Jason, on the cover art?
Well, as Ken mentioned, Exodus has never been astute at the album cover, uh,
No,
at album covers. I mean, I guess Force of Habit.
Yeah,
It's a
it's kind
little
of
weird. A little weird. It's a little Picasso-y or something. I don't know. I don't know who makes the decisions for these album art. It's got to be Gary. Somebody
I
with
would assume
terrible
so.
taste. Yeah. I do like the cover of Impact is Imminent, though. I think it's, for some
Oh, yeah.
reason, it just feels like Exodus. Like, I don't know. I love that album art. I don't know why. It was completely different from everything at the time. But this one, it's cool. Um, I want to know what the creature is on the front. Is that the Goliath, and
That's the
how he
Goliath. Yeah.
that's a Goliath. Yeah.
and what's the lore here? Is there any story surrounding it,
Well,
or
we can get to that during the lyrics and talk about the lyrics, but it's a made up creature that Dave made up, kind of like
okay?
a maybe an invented kaiju of some kind.
So it's never appeared in Exodus lore before.
No.
Okay, yeah.
No.
Could this be the new mascot moving forward? Who knows?
Could be, sure.
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah. I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's cool. It probably
Cool.
translate well to a shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I've heard though, people are complaining that they're using a lot of AI generated merch. That's
Oh,
what I'm hearing. So I don't know how true that is, but I've seen it brought up in a lot of comments that they're going to shows and that their merch table, it's all AI generated artwork, and people aren't happy with that. So
yeah, interesting.
that's what I've heard. I don't know how true that is. I'd have to see the merch, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, unfortunately, I forgot to check out the merch booth at the Megadeth Exodus show in London. I just knew that probably for good reason. Like I didn't, because I didn't want to drop $1,000 on merch.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's okay. I like it. For me, it's kind of cool to get Ken's kind of viewpoint on the artist and that, because I'll be honest, since we started doing the show just over 2 years ago, I've really paid attention. Every time I open a CD now, or I get a promo, I'm checking out who the artist is, just because Ken's got me thinking that so much. It's like, oh, okay, I got to find out who the artist is, because
Jimmy, that's why I mentioned Travis Smith.
Yeah,
and I was just like, oh, Travis Smith.
He's done like 1,000 album covers.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. He did the Overkill one I just bought, and I didn't even know which one was that. Bloodletting. Yeah,
Bloodletting.
Yeah, I was like, holy cow, he just did that one. So, but anyways, no, that's really cool. So the big elephant in the room, Jason, singer change. I mean, we've sort of brushed about this before, but we go from Paul to Zetro to Dukes to Zetro, and now back to Dukes again. So, what is your what's your thoughts on the change? And I guess we can even answer who do we like better out of the two?
Well, can I say I'm shocked? No. I mean, this revolving door is kind of annoying, and I'm a fan of Zetro.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, he'll always be, even above Bailoff.
Yeah,
he'll always be my Exodus singer.
Yeah.
But that's just because I grew up with him, right? And I first heard Exodus with him. And not that I don't like Dukes. I think he's a talented vocalist in his own right.
Yeah.
And I applaud him on this album specifically for not just mimicking Zetro. And there's a lot of, and we'll get to this, but Dukes has a lot of range compared to Zetro. And I'm not even sure if Zetro could have pulled off some of the stuff that Dukes is doing on this album. He could have, but it probably wouldn't have had the same impact. Where Dukes has a versatility to his voice that kind of can change as the moods of the song change. And he seems to match those moods quite well, especially on this album. So yeah, he's not just a straight thrash belter like Zetro. He's definitely has more versatility to his voice, and he allows the band, I think, to explore a bit more than they might have been able to do with Zetro. So I'm not shitting on him at all, because he's taking the band to places they couldn't have gone without him, and that they are now confident to go to with Dukes behind the mic. So good for the band and good for Dukes. So I think it's a win-win situation for both the band and Dukes. But for fans, I'll always miss Zetro, but I still have all that material with Zetro, so I'll just throw it on when I miss him.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I tend to agree with you as well. I think that the outcry was kind of unfair for Dukes at the start. Everybody was like, I think for me, the biggest shock was, it wasn't the fact they went back with Dukes. I think it's the fact that I thought the last album, Persona, I liked it. So I thought they were gaining momentum. And I always find with Exodus is almost kind of like that big four, big five band from the US that just can't seem to get there. And it really pisses me off, because Bonded by Blood was a masterpiece. Pleasures of the Flesh, Impact is we could go on with the older stuff on how much it meant to us and that. And then Tempo of the Damned, the newer stuff. I even like Shovel-Headed Kill Machine with Dukes, but I just find when you have such an unstable, it feels like an unstable lineup, that you feel like, do I want to invest time and effort into listening? And I think that's what scared me more than anything. But I got to be honest, as soon as it started, like from the first single of 3111, I thought it was really good. I know it got a lot of hate online, but I think also with a lot of older thrash fans and older metal fans, I think it's kind of cool to hate stuff from, that are coming out from these older bands. I mean, I'll be the first one to crap on the last Metallica album, but I got to be honest, I thought this was great. I think some of these songs on here are a return to some good 80s thrash, good basic 80s thrash. And I think Duke's, and I agree with you 100%, I don't think Zetro could pull some of it off. I think that Duke's he's more of a Street Fighter singer to me, where he's right from kind of, it's very basic, but it's very to the point and good. And I really like that in my thrash. So I got to admit, I've become more of a believer. And then seeing him live, as the three of us have, I mean, he put on one hell of a show. I mean, there was only, I think, 6 or 7 songs, but it was really, really good. And he only sung one song of his, which was the new song. So it's kind of neat that, here they're pulling out all the rest of the songs from the, Bonded by Blood, but, and Toxic, so there was a lot of Zetro on there. So, and he did make it his own. He didn't try to mimic or emulate. He just went ahead and did it. And I thought that was really good. Ken, what's your thoughts on the singer and maybe the stability of the lineup to some degree?
Well, I just very similar to Jason. Zetro's my guy too.
Yeah.
Although I don't, so I'll keep this very brief because we can discuss this in the songs really, because I'm not entirely happy with a lot of his vocal performances on these songs. And I'm saying that because I went back over the weekend and I was listening to Shovelheaded, Atrocity A and B, and I realized he is a good, decent vocalist, but I don't know if a lot of the range here really stretches for the songs. One of my biggest problems is that I find the vocals don't kind of fit the music at times. There's a little bit that I find that's just a little bit, I don't know. I don't like, there's not enough, the choruses are not good. I don't like a lot of the choruses here are really, they're just subpar. I'm sorry, they are. I can't argue that because Exodus is known for really good choruses. And I'm a bit disappointed because based on the 3 previous albums that Dukes did, I was looking for more of that. But I kind of felt that
So you're a fan of the 3 previous?
Yeah, I didn't mind them. I Shovelhead was really good. I liked Atrocity A. Atrocity B was where I found it a little on the Endering side. But generally speaking, his vocals are good on those 3 albums, and I didn't see it here. I felt there was something missing for me.
Well, I think the difference maybe is, and I agree with you, but I think back then I feel like he hadn't found himself vocally. I feel like he was mimicking Zetro.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
And you can hear that in those 3 albums. They're just, I feel like maybe not mimicking, but if he was the one writing the lyrics, he was doing so in the same cadence that Zetro would have done it. Now that's completely different. Like you said, like you said, Ken, I agree with you. I think the choruses do suffer, and I think it's because maybe he's not following that blueprint that Zetro had previously, like he was on the 3 albums he was on before. Now he's experimenting more. He's been given by the guys, the go ahead to experiment a bit more, and that's maybe where the disconnect is. Compared to those other 3 albums.
Well, the production is also different. They didn't go with Sneap. They went with Lewis instead.
Yeah.
And Lewis brings a different dynamic. I mean, he's worked with like Trivium, Cannibal Corpse. So, I mean, he's bringing a whole different dynamic to the table. So,
yeah,
I think that's something.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that we'll get into it. But the production of this album isn't great. I'm sorry. It's not great. Not for me anyways, but we'll get into it.
You know what's interesting about the album for me, and I mean, I know we're going to talk about the songs, we'll get started on that, but I find half this album, believe it or not, it borderlines on Southern rock, hard rock for me on some of the songs. Like, I'm not even in some of them, but I got to admit, I thoroughly enjoy this album because there's some really good thrash songs on here, but I find there's a couple of songs on here that I'm like, oh, this sounds kind of Southern rockish to a borderlining on a little bit of a thrash sound. Like, kind of, there's one on here that even has kind of a bit of a Pantera vibe for me. So,
yes.
But anyways, we'll get into the songs. But no, I can understand where you're coming from, Ken. And I do agree with what you said there about with Jason. What you said about he wasn't he was under much more constraints when he first was part of the band, and I think he was kind of guided. And now they've kind of veered away and started. I mean, I guess it's the same thing. Creator. We talked about Creator. The three of us did on their latest album, and we were it was everything from it's kind of almost like an AOR album to some degree, because I get the feeling Creator wrote that album for festivals in Europe, to have that sort of sing-along kind of thing, and they veered off, and I'm finding these bands are just kind of maybe they're growing in a different way or trying to come up with that. But anyways, we'll get into that. Why don't we start?
Yeah, of course.
Why don't you start off with the first single, Ken, which was the first single released, 3111. What's your thoughts on this?
Well,
and please hit me with any lyrical stuff here, because I have no idea what that title is.
Yeah. So lyrically, the 3111 refers to the amount of bodies that piled up in Mexico during the narco kind of killings in.
This is narco violence. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what it refers to. This happened supposedly. I went and I looked this up because I was curious about this amount, but it's an estimated amount of those murders were in 2010 alone.
Wow.
So this is what the response is. Now, the song itself, I don't like the song. I'm sorry. I like parts of the song, but I don't, and I even wrote that when I wrote the review for Allfather. I said, it had a promising start, but it goes to shit right after that. And I don't know what the issue is. It's like, well, there's no real major solo. It's just all this noodling halfway through the song, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's not even like typical Exodus. Like, I'm like, the song, I was disappointed by this song. Actually, once I read what the song was about, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I wanted that, but I felt I didn't get that. Now, Dukes wrote the lyrics, and then Holt did the music. So, okay, some of it's all right. The first half is interesting. It kind of slow, it's doomy, it's got a Sabbath vibe a bit. And then that second half is where it falls apart for me. Because, like, I want that traditional solo that you don't get here. You get all this noodling. And I'm like, what is this? I don't know I don't know. Maybe you guys have a different opinion. Maybe you have a different opinion, Jason, because you're a musician. But that's just how I interpret the song.
For me, I thought it was okay. It definitely doesn't sound like anything from Exodus. I thought the ominous intro was really cool, and the screams that started up like a minute in. But for a first single, I thought this was kind of, I don't know if it was the greatest decision in my mind, because the next song probably would have been a better pick. But I think to myself, what a way to kind of slap fans like directly in the face with something totally kind of different. I like it. I thought it was great live. I liked it better live. It really lit up when they started the the show with that. I thought it was really cool, and I got to give them credit for bringing the new track right in there. I mean, we saw them before the album was released, so I thought that was really good. I think we even saw it before the third single was released, so I got to give them credit for that, and it really got the crowd going. But yeah, for me, it's a little bit. It's not my favorite on the album. It's okay, but that's all I'll give it. Jason, what's your thoughts on 3111 now that we know what it's kind of about?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what it was about, so knowing that kind of brings things a bit more, adds a bit more clarity to maybe what they're trying to do musically here. So, I mean, it's okay. Like you guys said, it's darker. It's a bit dissonant, especially the beginning. It's a bit atmospheric. First half is okay. Definitely not Exodus. And then, like Ken was saying, it gets into that noodling shit. And the lack of a solo, I don't understand. I don't get that at all. Yeah, especially for a first single. And then there's that repeated riff over and over and over again for the last half. And to me, it just gets boring. Like when I'm listening to Exodus, I want to hear craziness. Not necessarily craziness, but I want to hear. I don't want to fall into a repetitive hypnotic trance, and that's what this song does to me in the last half. This is not early Norwegian hypnotic black metal from the early 90s. This is Exodus, and
Right.
I think, to be honest, I think this song, I don't know how long Dukes has been in the band before they recorded this,
Not long.
wrote this.
I don't think so yet.
Like, do you guys think this track was written pre-Dukes for Zetro? Because I don't think Zetro could pull this one off. Honestly, I think it was clearly written for Rob.
I think so.
Well, he wrote the lyrics, so I mean that's got to tell you something.
It might have been. It might have
Yeah.
been rushed.
Yeah, I just, yeah. I just think the rhythmic kind of delivery suits the machine gun vocal patterns of, or doesn't suit the machine gun vocal patterns of Zetro, and more so Dukes. So I couldn't hear Zetro on this one at all. It wouldn't have even made sense. But regardless of the vocals, the music itself is not a great choice for a first single.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a strong opener in the context of the rest of the album,
Sure.
but it's likely, I think it'll be remembered as maybe a high energy live song than it will be like a definitive top 5 classic or something. Like, I think this will make, I could see this in their set list moving forward for sure.
Yeah.
But
Well,
not something to be remembered by fans in the long run.
Good point.
But a cool live track.
Great. Well, Jason, we'll stick with you with track 2, Hostis Humani. I gotta say this right. Generous.
Well, we'll leave the lyrical
To Ken.
to Ken. I'm sure it translates to something.
It does. Yes.
Probably human, mankind, something. Anyways, cool track. I think this, to me, it's funny because I didn't like the song at first, and then I listened to the album a lot after my first initial listen. I listened to this album way back, probably the first time was quite a while ago, but I had it on repeat quite a bit over the last few days, and I'm hearing early Metallica in here.
Yep.
And would you agree with that?
Yep.
Yeah. And I think it's just, this has it has an early Metallica kind of swagger to it, and an early Exodus swagger to it that I haven't heard in an Exodus song in this way in a long time. It's I think Zetro could have definitely handled this one, but I think Dukes adds a bit of a bit more to this than Zetro could have. It's a bit angrier, like the way that Duke sings it. Like Zetro, he would bark it out in his goofy thrash style, and it would hey. But I think there's like almost like a hardcore angle to this that Dukes gives it that has a lot more anger in it than Zetro could provide. And I think it makes the song really, really fucking cool. But yeah, it does have a really cool early Bay Area thrash sound to it, and I really enjoy the song for that reason. And I think it kind of bridges the gap between, the Bailoff years, the Zetro years, and the Dukes, as I've seen it online, Exodukes, the Exodukes era. It's kind of bridges those 3 generations nicely, and gives us a cool Exodus song. So I really dig this song. I think it's up there with anything that I would have heard on the last 2 albums, anyways.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I love this song. It's one of my 5 favorites. I'm a bit of a loser. I can never pick, but this is one of my favorite ones. I mean, that faster sound. I wrote the vocals as hostile, and I think that's where you get the hostility from Dukes, because he is live. He's just a madman up there, and I think that's really cool. But and I love the fact that it's like a minute 15 before the vocals even cut in. So it's really good. But I wrote down that it's got a Metallica vibe to it, and I also have another one that has a Slayer vibe to it. But and I love the riffs that lead into the solo are really, really cool. And this has it's a bit of a longer song, so I love that, and I love the end when it's "I am the enemy, I am the enemy, I am the enemy," and it goes right out to the end. I think that's amazing. So this is
and the trade-offs between Holt and Altus on this are awesome,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
fantastic. And this
just
is
classic.
for me. This is an Exodus song. I think this should have been the first single, maybe with a different title, maybe a more catchier title. I don't know. Ken's going to tell us what it means here. Maybe I don't know, "Sunshine in the Woods" or something. I don't know. Something a little bit more catchier. I think this would have been, if this had come out, people would have been like, first, I think people would have been like, holy shit, and been all over it. But anyways, Ken, you tell us what it means, and I know you're going to give us a lyrical rundown.
Yeah, so basically the term is it translates to the enemy of all mankind. Historically, this phrase was used for pirates, so that's what
nice.
referred to as a pirate, or anyone that was considered outside of like all legal protection, which pirates were way back when. So I think it's kind of cool how they're referencing that. I don't get Metallica vibes though. I kind of feel like this harks back to Shovelheaded to me. It has that aggression. For me, I mean, we all hear different things when we hear a song, but that's where I felt it sort of drew its strength from. But I think it's a really, really good song. It's more of a banger, and it's definitely a song that shows to me that this is somewhat classic Exodus, going back to their roots a little bit. So, I mean, I totally think it's great. I just wish this was the opening song, maybe, as opposed to being the second song. But
I could have heard. This could have been on Pleasures of the Flesh. Obviously, it's much more modern sounding than anything on Pleasures of the Flesh. But right. At least parts of it.
Yeah,
not the whole thing. Yeah.
But it's a decent song. I'm more impressed with this than I was the opening track.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, we're going to hit into track 3 here. I'm just going to jump on this one first because this is another favorite of mine. The Changing Me. With a special guest, Peter, and I hope I get this right, Tagrin. I hope I get that right. Vocalist for Hypocrisy. So, I mean...
Are you a Hypocrisy fan, Jimmy?
Sorry?
Are you a Hypocrisy fan?
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
so,
cool.
I got to be honest. I mean, Swedish melodic death metal band, come on, this is great stuff. And what I love about it is I love the difference between his and Duke's vocals. So his is faded in the background a little bit, but it just gives it, I think, and I know everybody's going to laugh at me, but I think Exodus should put out a death metal album like Testament did. Because I got to be honest with you, I mean, I love the Testament death metal album, and I think this would be great. I mean, I love this. I think Duke's aggressiveness and his melodic death growls and stuff in the background, it gave me chills when I listened to it. I mean, and the music part of it is wicked. I mean, that heavy riff intro is amazing. I think this is a heavy, sick song. And the chorus has got way more of a death metal vibe for me. So I when I hear the two vocalists going together, it just really, really sends chills down my spine. Ken, what's your thoughts on The Changing Me?
I'm mixed about it. I'm kind of mixed.
Yeah,
so Dukes wrote the lyrics here, and Altus, obviously being one of the key contributors on the musical side, wrote the music. So it's good. I mean, there's a lot of good things going on here. Tagrin's vocals are okay. It's like they're a little bit like, I don't know. It's more like a death metal growl at times. So it's an overlay. I don't know. I thought it. I'm not sure it worked for me, but that's just my opinion. I didn't know if it really worked, contrasting the two vocals back to back. But there's some really good things going on in it. I like some of the harmonized vocals that kind of kick in. The chorus is actually pretty decent here. For me. And I like the fact that the whole song, it's a very typical song about the tug of war between yourself. So like the lyrics kind of mention that they're sort of like mention who they were. They mention where they're going to, what they're becoming to. And then it also mentions, that the change is good or bad. So it's interesting. In I wouldn't say it's anthemic, but it's interesting for the lyrics, a bit more introspective. But I think it's an okay song. I don't know if I'm entirely loving it, but I think it's okay.
Cool. Jason, your take on the Changing Me. Are you changing your view on it?
Well, first of all, Jimmy, I gotta say, hard no to Exodus being a Swedish melodic death metal band.
I would agree.
Please, God, no. I
I
mean,
would agree.
okay, I'll give you this, Jimmy. It's a decent song in that realm. Like,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
does Swedish mellow death very well.
Yeah, yeah.
And it does something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's just not Exodus, man.
No,
Just
I
not Exodus.
That's my feeling. Yeah.
I mean, sure, maybe they can do like an EP or something for fun, see what happens. I might be okay with that. I don't want a full album of this from Exodus.
Me
So
neither.
yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, it's a good song in that subgenre. It does have a really catchy chorus, and I love, like you were saying, Jimmy, the interplay between Dukes and Peter. I think it's cool. It has a very anthemic kind of vibe to it that is going to do really, really well if they can pull this one off live over in Europe for the festivals. I don't know if they could pull this one off live. It's a little weird. If you didn't have Peter there, maybe you had
Yeah.
his
It may not
backing
work.
tracks. Yeah, they would have to have his backing tracks
Yeah.
to make it work as well as it does on the album. As far as Zetro only fans, there's no fucking way Zetro
No.
only fans like this track. No way. They probably hate it. I mean, I'm a Zetro fan, but I'm not only a Zetro fan. But you do have those fans who won't, do anything won't listen to anything without Zetro. If you put this on for them, they just probably laugh their ass off. I don't know. It's a bit of a divisive one. I don't think Zetro could have pulled this one off.
No.
There's too many melodic cleans that Zetro probably couldn't do, even though Zetro did experiment a bit on Force of Habit, which surprised me quite a bit. So maybe he could have pulled this off. I don't know. But yeah, I think it'll be. I think those who. I'm just going to say I think it's brave that they went this route, because it could have gone really, really bad. But I think they pulled it off. Even though I'm not a big fan of the song, it's still a strong song
Cool.
for what it is.
Yeah, cool. No, that's great. No, I this is the song I keep going back to. I mean, it's not even my favorite on here, but I love it. I'm being such a huge death metal fan and melodic death metal. I get excited when they add stuff like to these bands that are like, yeah, even though here I am a thrash fan and I'm like just kind of, yeah, this is cool.
You know what's funny about that? It's weird when these two worlds
Yes.
kind of converge. You know what I mean? It's like, who would have thought Exodus was into Hypocrisy?
Yeah.
Or that they would even think about collaborating with Peter from Hypocrisy. Like, it's two different worlds. It's almost like when last year or year and a half ago when Frankie Bello from Anthrax
Yeah.
went and played bass for
Magicon.
Satyricon,
Yeah.
like for a Norwegian black metal band. It's like, in what world do those two things exist together? So it's cool when things like this happen because it just shows you that these bands, even these old school ones and these newer bands,
Well, they can
they do
overlap.
appreciate each other. They can overlap. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overlap.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So, Jason, we'll stick with you on Promise You This. This is a song that clocks in at 5:19. What's your thoughts on this one?
I dig it. I hated it at first. I do dig this track now. And I don't know why I hated it. I think I was in that zone and I needed to quit being a little closed-minded. And once I did that, I found some good things I liked about it. I think this is the first track that I could see, or that I've heard on the album so far, that could really kind of get a pit going.
Yeah.
It has a bit of a, it's got a bit of a vibe of Toxic Waltz. I don't know what it is. It's just, this reminds me of Fabulous Disaster for some reason and Toxic Waltz. It just, I don't know if it's like, it's got a bit of a crossover vibe to it a little bit, that I really dug about Fabulous Disaster, especially Toxic Waltz, which I think, in my opinion, is a crossover track. Got a bit of a skate punk vibe to it, and I'm getting a bit of that here Um, I think this is probably the closest thing so far to Shovel-Headed Kill Machine. Um, I don't know. It's a decent song. It's probably my favorite song so far on the album. There's a couple more that are coming up that I liked a lot, but yeah, I really enjoyed this track, and it grew on me with more listens.
Yeah, I think it's this is the one of the ones that I even have like I wrote down that Duke's vocals and some parts of it sound almost like James from Metallica, just some parts of it. And this is the one of the ones that I thought it starts off like a thrashy song, but then as the song gets going, it kind of goes into me for me more of a heavy rock song, like with thrash elements to it. I don't know. I like it. I think it's got a really catchy chorus. I love the really clean vocals in this are really good. I think this is one of probably Dukes' best vocals that he does on the album. That riff and drum intro is really good, and those heavy, fast riffs are just really, really cool. It's not in my top 3 or 4, but it definitely is in the middle of the album for me. I actually really like it. This song, for some reason, I made the most notes on. Yet I didn't label it as one of my top ones, but it's one I kept going back to as well because I really, really did like it as well.
I think you're right. I failed to mention, but yeah, most of what I was saying relates to the first half of the song. But I
Yeah,
agree with you. The second half of the song definitely has a more rock element
yeah.
to it, and I think that allowed those parts specifically allowed Dukes to shine a bit more with his clean vocal delivery. So, yeah, there's a bit of two different worlds going on: the first half and the second half of the song.
Ken, what's your thoughts on "Promise You This"?
It's all right. It has one of the better choruses on the album
Hmm.
for me, so that's something I like when I listen to Exodus. So you get that here. Yeah, it's got a. I think it's a much more groovy. It's more like a groovy chug, and very catchy. So for that, I can appreciate it for that.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, basically, this is a song that Holt wrote music and lyrics for. And so it's all about a relationship, and it's about pledging his allegiance to that relationship. Like I promise you loyalty. We fucked up, but we can make it work. So it's kind of a interesting. I don't know if that's a new thing for Exodus. It seems like maybe it's a personal thing to Gary. I don't know, but I don't mind it.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's my favorite track, but I like the fact that it's kind of going in a direction where I would prefer hearing Exodus for me.
Yeah.
But I agree with you with the second half of the track. It gets more like a rock vibe and less chuggy, and it's
Hmm.
okay. It's all right. I mean the solo is pretty decent. I don't mind that, and I like it about 340. That's pretty solid. Some pretty like from 229 to 340. It's pretty solid stuff.
Hmm.
So I don't mind it. I don't mind the song at all.
Well, that's an interesting point you bring up the time because this album is 54 minutes and 9 seconds. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I like 10 songs max. This album's got
The 10
you know
songs max.
yeah, exactly. But I think sometimes it might some of the album might go a little long in the tooth, I think, but anyways, no, it's definitely a cool song. And the interesting part too, this was the third single, and all online when I was watching before it was released. 3111 was the first single, Goliath, which is the next song, second single, and then this one, the third single. I'd say, in my estimation, 80 to 85% of fans like this one out of the three the best. They said it was more Exodus sounding and what have you, which is kind of interesting. But I mean, we're going to tackle Goliath, which Ken, why don't you take us through song number 5, Goliath here, the album, the title track.
Yeah. Well, this song is a complete disaster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I
You're
I
killing.
get what they're trying to do. I understand it. Like, okay, so lyrically, we'll talk about what I interpreted. It's like a metaphysical horror theme song about this colossal force that's born, and basically what they want. It feeds on human fear. So it's okay. That's kind of neat. It's kind of neat, but the song does nothing. It doesn't really. I don't know. There's no engaging solo for me. It's very slow. It's very sludgy. It's got kind of comparisons to Down and Crowbar. It goes into that territory, which is totally new for them. But if I want this kind of a song, and I think Dukes could have sang this if this was Shovelhead Kill Machine, I would have liked it a lot more. But I just feel like, it's just it stays sludgy, and it just doesn't really do. I don't know. It doesn't do much for me. That's my opinion. But maybe you guys have a different.
Oh, well, I mean, it's one of my favorites on the album. And I mean, I also forgot to mention when I introduced the song that it has a guest violinist,
yes,
Katie Jacoby, who's from New York, so who's worked with the Who in that, so she's quite accomplished. But I love that sound. I don't know. I get where you're coming from, Ken, because I totally, as an Exodus fan, and Jason said this during the podcast we did with Creator. If I want to listen to this band, I don't go to Creator, and he's right.
Yeah,
that's where all this comes from. Yeah, like you said, Crowbar and maybe a bit of a stoner vibe to it to some degree. Man. Yeah, if you want to do that, you go to Crowbar and listen to it 100%. And since Jason's been saying that, when I listen to an album now, I'm thinking to myself, hey, this sounds like this. Cool. And then I reel myself in a little bit and I say, well, Jason said this, so I have to follow it. No, I'm just kidding. I say like, no, it's true. I'm not going to go. I don't go to Iron Maiden to listen to Motley Crue. So, like this is how it is. But what I like about this, I think, I think that the change for me, I like, and I don't know why, but I hate the Metallica Black Album. We've had this, and I'm bringing Metallica up, and I hate everything from Load and that, and they tried something different, but for some reason, I allow Creator to do it onto the last two albums, and Exodus. I'm loving this. I think the bass throughout it is really good. I think her I would assume it's an electric violin she uses on it, but it sounds it sounds really good. It adds kind of that doomy sound to it.
Right.
The riffs, I called it a violin riff. I don't know what the word would be, but it's.
But Jim, sorry to interrupt. I agree. That's the good key ingredient. But all I'm saying is they don't do enough with the song afterwards to me to make it a really good thrash song. I'm sorry, that's just what I.
No, think. I agree. It isn't a thrash. Like it isn't a thrash song. And a lot of songs on this album technically doesn't go by the thrash recipes. So, but I just really like it. I think the solo at 225 is really good, and it just that solo makes it a bit heavier. I think he added to the electric violins, kind of cool. But you're right, and and this is why this album was a swing and the miss. From what I read online with everybody's comments, is that they just the first one came out 3-1-1. They didn't like it. The second one came out maybe a little bit more but still a lot of pushback. And then the third one came out and people were like, okay, finally some Exodus. So Jason, what's your thoughts on the title track?
All right, well, we have to change the name of this episode to Sludgecast for this song, because this is not thrash, as you mentioned, Jimmy.
Yeah,
this is straight up sludge doom rock. Yeah. I mean, okay, I get it. I think this is where, to be honest, I've never listened to Dukes' previous band, but was it a sludge or doom
Generational?
band?
No, you're talking about Generational Kill.
Yeah,
that's a good album. That's a good band.
Yeah,
is it a thrash band? The thrash?
It's a thrash band, yeah.
Because I think Rob really does his best work in this kind of doom sludge space, because he sounds awesome on this. I think this is his best performance on the album. Even though I don't like the track personally that much, I still think this is his best performance. And I think
the vocals, you're saying?
Yeah, I think he perfectly fits his vocals, the style of music that they're doing here. I think it kind of gels. Everything gels. Even though this to me isn't an Exodus song, it's still a good song for what it is. Like kind of going back to that the Hypocrisy track. I think fans of Atrocity Exhibition, would be more apt to like this track because it's a bit more cinematic in feel, which I think that album had a bit more weight to it in that kind of regard. I think any longtime fans will be just confused. long time fans who are maybe not as apt to open their mind as you are, Jimmy. So kudos to you for finding something to love out of this. I think it's cool that it's the centerpiece of the album. Was this track 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it just kind of fits perfectly in the space that it's allotted. And I think it kind of defines the new Exodus. I think we're going to be hearing more of this kind of stuff from them. As much as you love it or hate it, I just think this is the band moving forward. And it's such an epic track that they cannot ignore this moving forward. Like, they made it the title track, right?
They did, yes.
For a reason. Like, this is the centerpiece. This is the new sound. I think this is where they're going. I think this is what we're going to see more of. And I just get that. I get that funny feeling inside that this isn't the last we're gonna hear this kind of stuff from Exodus.
Unless they switch Dukes for Zetro again.
Yeah, there you go.
Jason, we'll stick with you for track number 6.
Cosmic Horror,
the Event Horizon.
What's that, Ken?
Cosmic Horror. This song.
I figured Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Now we're beyond the Event Horizon.
And I don't
even know what the heck. Can we go beyond the Event Horizon? Is that even possible? Well, here we go. The first honest-to-goodness thrash song on this album. Tom sounds fucking amazing on this album. And you can really, really, really hear him on this album. And for a guy his age, Jesus Christ, he can still...
Yeah,
he can still, and especially he's had a lot of health issues,
That's right.
running up to this, and he doesn't slow things down on this, and it sounds fucking awesome. So, I don't know, it's got a real Bay Area sound to it. It's probably the most technical song we've heard on the album so far as thrash technicality. I think it's for new fans, maybe fans that have never heard Exodus. This is their first Exodus album. They might be like, holy fuck, this is too heavy. What is this? But for us, obviously, we're used to this. So, yeah, I'm glad that they brought it back. It's definitely like an upper echelon Exodus thrash track, and just reaffirms that they can still do this.
I agree, man. I agree with everything you said, and I think Jack on bass. I think the bass line in this is amazing too, and I think that's what you've got: the guitars and the bass, the drums, everything's coming together in thrash harmony on this song. And this is a thrash song, so I love it as well. Ken, what's your thoughts on Beyond the Event Horizon? Can we go beyond it?
Well, we did, and it's basically. It's a cosmic horror song, obviously.
Yeah.
The black hole, referring to the black hole, kind of there's elements of Lovecraftian elements to it, which I love. I think that's so great because you're looking at cosmic horror through like a scientific lens. So it's great. In that regards, I think it's an awesome song. For me, personally, I know it's not related to the movie Event Horizon, but you could, I guess, maybe they're referring to. I'm not sure what Dukes was. If that was his inspiration, because he wrote the lyrics,
right.
And then Altus wrote the music. So it's great for what it is. I agree, it's a pure thrash song, and I think that's why we all agree it's really solid. And the thing about this album, just for one sec, I noticed that Jack as a bassist is. His bass is really up high in the mix on a lot of these songs, which is a bit unusual because you don't really you hear him in Exodus songs, but not to this degree.
Right.
So that's a bit of an experimentation there, I thought. I mean, going back to Tom is Tom. He's a great drummer. Probably doesn't get the accolades that he should. But yeah, this song, I think everyone fires on all the right cylinders, and it's a really solid thrash song for sure.
Wicked. Well, we'll stick with you, Ken, with 2 minutes hate.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Lyrically they go back to George Orwell. So the 2 minutes to hate refers to a term that George Orwell used in his books. So it's kind of interesting. I like the concept, Um, this is interesting. It's got more of a groovy. It's got a lot of groove and catch to it. Very catchy. The chorus is cool. I don't mind the chorus. It's got a really nice crunchy guitar tone, which I kind of like. And then they throw in the gang shouts, which I think is kind of interesting. It's like, oh, I haven't heard gang shouts from Exodus in a long time. So that's kind of like going back to your roots a little bit because they were always noted for really good gang shouts in their songs. And it doesn't start to like the 4 minute mark, but
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice added element. A lot of this song though kind of reminds me of mid '90s Megadeth. It's got some of those mid '90s vibes. I think it's a pretty solid song for me. And then the whole point of the song, like, it's about it argues and it encourages people to, to by media, how media and politics and culture, how it encourages people to rage, which is very relevant to today's culture because that's what everyone does these days. Everyone's raging about something. So I think it's kind of cool. So it's a pretty decent song, I would
Okay.
think.
Yeah, and this is another one where the bass is high in the mix as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
no, I agree. I agree. I mean, you're not going to say anything different for me. What's your thoughts, Jason, on 2 minutes 8?
Yeah, I think Ken hit it on the nose with that the midnight or the early to mid '90s kind of
Negative, yeah.
charm, Megadeth charm here. It's got a bit of euthanasia vibe to it, or I don't know. I don't know why, but I was hearing some prong in here. I don't know if it was the
Yeah.
groovy elements.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a
Yeah,
punk fan, so
yeah. Oh yeah, the gang shouts. Yep.
yeah, that's a good,
Um,
love that.
yeah, I think it's cool. It's sludgy, kind of grindy. Um, kind of again has that '90s metallic charm to it. A bit Force of Habit era ish, um, which is I enjoy that album occasionally. Uh, yeah, it's not the strongest cut, but
Yeah,
it's definitely it's not a skipper. That's for sure.
No.
It's an okay track.
cool. Well, Jason, we'll stick with you and see if violence works.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's weird that they named it this because this isn't the
No.
most violent song on the album. I like this track. Uh, I think it's the most experimental. Well,
Mm-hmm.
not experimental. It's a bit. Is it a bit funky in parts, or is it
I
me?
find it rocky and
Folky?
yeah,
Yeah,
I find Pantera is where
yep. That's
it's
the one
got
I thought was
Pantera.
Pantera.
yeah. Maybe not funky, but
Well,
I don't know.
Jason, maybe you're referring to the beginning where it's got that kind of giddy up.
Yeah.
I
That could
fucking
be it.
hate that. I don't understand where that's coming from.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. Yeah, um,
What was that?
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's a little weird. Yeah, I don't know. I think this one falls just it's a little lackluster compared to the rest of the album. I mean, okay, they're not really experimenting here. Okay, it's not a thrash song, and it's not
Yeah.
overly experimental. It's just kind of there. I don't know what this track really is. That's I
Mm-hmm.
think what confuses me most about it, because either they're blistering like they were on the previous track or the track before that, or they're experimenting in doom sludgy areas. I don't really know what this song is doing. I don't get it. And to me, it's not skippable either because there are parts of it I enjoy.
Yeah.
But this one confuses me, like why it's even on this album, because to me it's just probably not the weakest track, just and not the weirdest track. It just doesn't fit. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all I have to say.
Yeah, I agree. It's not I'm not that keen on it, and it seems like a little bit of a filler track for me in the sense that I just think it was a multitude of ideas that like they need to go with one or two and go with it, but I find it's to me it's kind of disjointed. Yeah, it's not thrash, it's kind of folk. Like you said folky, I wrote down kind of a rock folk song. Like I just even the southern rock parts of it. It's a little
This is where you were at the top of this. You were talking about that.
yeah.
So yeah,
And I do when it starts off like a Pantera vibe. I do get a Pantera vibe. This is the one that I thought sounded kind of like that. And I hate when they do that because, I mean, that's early 90s, early mid 90s stuff that we don't want to necessarily revisit. I love Pantera, but again, like you say, if you want to listen to Pantera, you break out your Pantera albums. So
Yeah.
for me, this is a bit of a swing and a miss. I think maybe they could have gone with, I always love 10 songs on an album, but they could have gone with 9 here, and I would still think it's as good as it is. So, Ken, what's your thoughts on Violence Works?
Well, yeah, the Pantera worship is there.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm going to say, though, for me, when you get to that solo around 2:30, I swear I'm hearing George Lynch. I'm hearing Dawkins. I'm like, whoa, they're all over the map with what. I don't know what's going on here. I'll be honest. I don't understand this album at all. I don't know what they're trying to achieve. It's like they're throwing all. It's like being in a midlife crisis, and it's like I gotta do this, and all of a sudden they're throwing everything you can think of in a song. So it's a bit weird. And I'm saying that because when you get to the lyrics, the whole point to the message is when diplomacy fails, you resort to violence.
Right.
Okay, that's a great message, but the song doesn't reflect that. So this whole album to me is so disjointed. There's only one song that I think gets it, and that's
Up Next.
No. I want to tackle song number 10 because I think they get it, but everything else, no. This song
that's exactly what I was saying. Like
yeah.
I'm confused by this one. Like I get that they're trying like a new. Rhythmically, they're trying something different for Exodus, but rhythmically, this is early 90s Pantera.
Yeah, exactly.
And why? Like it's a poor man's approach to it. It's not nearly as good. Yeah. And it's just confusing.
Yep.
It's just confusing. This song confuses me more than any other one on the track. I don't hate it, so let me just say that. I don't hate it, I'm just confused.
I don't like the beginning. That's my only beef.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't know what that was. I'm like, okay.
This is the biggest example of non-thrash on the album, and I think that's where I've heard it now kind of twice, and the first time I was, okay, this is different. I can get into it. And I'm a huge stoner, doom metal guy. I love it. Sludge metal, love it. But I just can't. This song here, it seems like they're throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, and
exactly
it doesn't. Yeah. So, but we'll jump back over to Jason for song number 9 because I'll save song 10 for you, Ken. So song number 9, Summon of the Gods Unknown. Jason, what's your thoughts on this one?
Jesus, we're running at 8 minutes here. This is pushing that 54 minutes you were talking about. This is the reason for that. Christ, this song could have been half the length.
Yep.
Oh my God! Like the mid-tempo doom sections, I think I'm just thinking about this song being played live. The pit would stop instantly. Like any movement that there was is gone. This track just rips that away. They're never playing this song live. There's no fucking way. I mean, if you like songs like The Last Act of Defiance or Architect of Despair, this is kind of similar. There's a little bit of technical depth to it. I don't know. It's just, I'm just kind of sick of the doom already. And I don't know. It sounds like this, like Dukes does an okay job here. This song sounds like it was written for him. Like out of all the tracks, this one, well, no, there's a couple, but this one really suits him. Like this is Duke's era. Like to a T, this is a Duke song because he's flawless on it and he sounds good on it. But fuck, man, 8 minutes of this shit, I don't know. Again, confused. It's not a terrible song. Like, none of these songs are fucking, like, outright just garbage. Like, Exodus knows how to write songs.
Right.
And even when they're outside of their comfort zone, they still write some decent stuff, like, and this is okay in that regard, like, but it's not Exodus, man. It's not. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, for me, this is one of my favorites on the album.
Is it?
Oh, you
Yeah.
like it? Oh, really? Oh, wow.
And I love
Not
the
me.
fact, I love the doomies, but I got to be honest, you hit it on the head. I think it's because Duke's vocals are perfection on this. And he actually sounds in some parts of it like Tom Araya a bit. Like, but it's not Slayerish at all, but he sounds to me like, holy cow, it could have been him singing parts of it.
Huh.
I like it.
I got to go back with that in mind. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he sounds like it. I mean, it's a darker song. The vocals are my big thing, but I love that drum lead that leads into the solo. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, at 7:54, I will grant the fact that I think it's a wee bit too long. I mean, this could have been tightened up in 4.5 minutes. But
I agree. Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, no, I like it, but I think that's my love of doom and my love of sludge metal coming through. That it's seeping into Exodus, and I'm okay with it only because I love the sound. So, but I can totally see your point. I would assume Ken's going to bend that way too. Is the fact that Exodus is a thrash band, and this is not thrash. So, but Ken, what's your thoughts? Are you summoning the god unknown?
Oh, no, God, no. So, Jim, do you like Candlemass?
Yeah, I like them.
I get this is a Candlemass to me.
Yeah.
This is what it reminds me of. And it's like, okay, I get it. It's a different style. I think half of the song is okay. First half, I don't know. I don't. What's with these long fucking summon of the god unknown? Like that sounds like that's definitely a doom metal band or even a death metal song. The title, it's just. Why are you trying? I don't know. The title of the song annoys the hell out of me. For me,
you know who could have done this song really good? Dax Riggs, who's the lead singer of Acid, could have put this on his solo album, and it would have matched perfectly.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I could see that. But generally, okay. So you're throwing a little bit of Slayer vibe. There's Sabbath vibes. I don't mind Rob's vocals at 6:17 when he gets those clean, when he starts singing clean. That's pretty good. Like that's okay. I'm good with that. But as a song, I'm going. So what's the point of it? Like what? And I agree with Jason. You can't play this live. It's gonna bore the fuck out of the pit. People are just gonna walk away. I'm serious.
This is when you go grab a beer, man.
Yes.
I'll be the only one there.
To go grab a beer. Yeah, that's what you do. But yeah, I think it's. I don't know. I mean, like.
Okay, I want. Here's a question.
Sure.
This is a bit of an epic song, not only because of the length, and because of the length. Do you think this one is the most epic of the album, or is it that other one with Katie?
Oh, Goliath.
Yeah. Okay. They're kind of.
I don't like either of them, so I'm okay with that. I'm sorry, I don't like either song.
Although I think if they would have called it Summon of the God, it still would have been a cool album cover.
How about just summon Goliath?
Yeah.
There you go.
Just summon Goliath.
There you go.
There's a song.
Well, we're at the end of the album.
Yes.
And this one's an interesting one, written by Tom Hunting. So, Ken, take it away, because I think I'm going to feel the same way you do on this one.
Please, Ken, please lead with what the fuck this even means.
Oh, this is the most obvious. This is why I like the song. So, the Dirtiest of the Dozen, I know for a fact refers to the Dirty Dozen,
right?
The film made in 1967. If you haven't seen it, it's a great movie.
I assumed, but I thought, is there more to it?
No, basically okay. First, the movie itself follows a group of commandos. They're trained to be commandos. They were all in a penal colony, and they get let out to help help before the invasion of Normandy in World War II. So you got like guys like Charles Bronson, John Cassavetes, Ernest Borgnine, George Candy. It's got a great cast of people. It's a really good film. What that film kind of instills is the idea of brotherhood and loyalty, and that these characters come together to be a band of heroes. That's what the song is more or less referring to. So they're using it as a metaphor here to discuss the idea that Exodus has gone through this kind of thing. So that we as a band of
the dirtiest
into the mud, and we're here and we're So that's what the song more or less kind of celebrates, and that's why I like it, because it's okay. This is cool. It's like it's got its moments. I love the. I just love the beginning of it. That the first minute is all balls out thrash,
Hmm.
and then Rob's vocals don't cut into the first like minute and three, which is okay. And it's just a kick-ass song and then and the bass solo. That's the best part about it. At 3 minutes, they throw in this bass solo that's just really like I'm like, okay, I like this. This is if you're going to experiment, at least do it in that kind of style. Give
Hmm.
us something back. But I think it's a really good closing song. I really like the song quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree. Everything you said. I love that bass solo that leads into the actual guitar solo. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a great song, and one of my favorites on the track. But just to clear up the song before, if you two, us three, were at the concert, you two were going for a beer, you can bet I'm going with you, even though I like.
Fair enough. Yeah,
but no, this song is wicked. I think this is one of the top four for me on the album.
It's my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, I agree with that. Jason, what's your thoughts on song 10 here? Do you think it gets dirty or what?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's a bit punky.
Yeah.
At times, definitely a thrash assault in parts. It does have a bit of like Maiden-like twin melodies here and there, which is cool. I just think it's a good way to end the album. It's like fucking fast and old school to some degree. Again, a bit of like Ken was saying, if you're going to experiment in this realm. Experiment in your wheelhouse. In your element.
Right.
And Rob, like some of his fucking screams on the song are awesome. Which reminded me, some of his screaming reminded me of Paul Bailoff and Bonded by Blood era. So he can pull that shit off, which it's cool to see. I think it's a good closer for this album, and I'm glad they summed it up this way. And I can hear this one being played live. Definitely.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Awesome. Yeah. That would have been cool. This should have been probably a single, and I'm wondering, this would have been, I think this would have tapped off, and I love Goliath, but I think 311 and that should have been, maybe they were, their thoughts were, we're going to put out some stuff to show people we're morphing or changing or we're stepping outside the box. I don't know, but and you know what? I think this album, technically, and you guys may agree with this, is more of a grower. I'm seeing a lot more positive reviews on it, Ken. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
I've seen it.
You know what? I've listened to it 4 or 5 times. I'm starting to really like it.
Yeah, so, I said that in our chat. I hated it at first, and I actually, maybe in a month's time or a couple months' time, I'll actually really dig it. I think what I'm trying to do when I listen to this album is I'm trying to give Dukes the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
And it's not all about Dukes, though. Like, he does a fine job vocally on this album. He, like I said at the top of this, he's versatile. He allows the band to explore a little more, and the band is exploring more. I think that's the problem. I think maybe right now, maybe they're just feeling comfortable enough. Maybe they felt constrained with Zetro over the last couple of albums, and then they get Dukes in. They see that that he wants to experiment, or that he's able to more than Zetro is, and they just went for it. Maybe they'll rein that in a bit in the next album, and find a bit more of a cohesive sound. I think this album lacks cohesiveness is his biggest problem. I think, like Ken was mentioning earlier, just throwing everything here, there, and everywhere, which is cool because if they're trying to find themselves again, fine. But that's not an excuse for the next album. Let this album be your melting pot, so to speak, and let the next album hone it in, figure it out. You got Dukes. He's capable. He can do Zetro. He can do Dukes. He can do other stuff. Just figure it out on the next album and come up with something cohesive, please. Because I think the next album could be fucking awesome if they do that.
Well, the thing is, they've written the second album's already ready to go. Apparently, they have enough material.
See, that scares me, because then that means that they haven't allowed the digestion period. You know? Right. So who knows? Yeah,
cool. Well, I've actually listened. I don't know. I'm just addicted to it. I don't know why. And again, I don't know why I don't allow Metallica to do it, but I allow all these other bands to do it. Like Testament's black metal album there, I loved it. But I would never want. I don't know what it is. It's weird. I don't know if maybe they did it first and I was less accepting of it or whatever. But
what if? Okay, here's the thing. What if Overkill did this?
oh God, he would have to rein in his vocals or Blitz.
Like, would you give it a
But they
pass?
have.
If-
But, no,
oh
Jason,
yeah, they've done, but they do it well.
They
Like on
have.
Years of Decay, Doom, and
Yeah,
but they have. Yeah, you're right. They have, but not to this degree, Ken. Like
no,
well, maybe it's because Overkill does it. They do it in a way that's still Overkill. Like
Yeah.
you still know it's the band.
Yeah.
With this album, I don't know that it's Exodus. That's the problem.
yeah,
Like you, all would fine with experimentation, but we still need to know it's you.
right.
You know, and this album doesn't do that for half of it.
No.
Well, guys, that was a great discussion on the new album. I love it when we get new releases and we're able to talk about it. It makes us definitely relevant in that sense that we're all, because we've all seen them. And what did you guys quickly, Jason? What did you think of the live? You saw Exodus a few weeks ago in London with Ken. What did you guys? I know Ken, we talked about it, but what did you guys think of the live show with the
Well,
Dukes?
For me, I thought it was fine what I could comprehend,
Yeah.
but it was just a wall of noise.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, like I don't know if it was the venue or the sound or Anthrax sounded much better, Megadeth sounded much better, but I saw Exodus once, maybe about 7 or 8 years ago at a smaller venue in London, Ontario, and I'm not sure what touring cycle it was, but they were touring with Obituary, I think, and it was so fucking loud. That's what it was like, and I couldn't make anything out.
Right.
And I don't know, Ken, was that the experience you had with me?
Yeah. I had similar experience.
Yeah.
It didn't. There was something about their sound. It's just. You're right. It was like it was very muddy. I thought
Yeah.
it was really muddy. It wasn't as clear as when Anthrax came on.
Like, I'll give the energy was great.
Yeah.
The energy was
good.
awesome.
The
Yeah.
other thing I'll say is it wasn't enough. Like
Yeah.
you're 6 songs and you're done.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you're not really treating the fans like with a really good dose of their style of thrash.
Yeah.
You start, you're done.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I
I'll,
thought it was okay. It was
I'll
okay.
say this. Kim and I saw Exodus last year with Zetro. It was the last time we saw them with Zetro at its fucking tiny club in Detroit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was unfucking believable. It was
Yeah,
incredible.
I could've figured that, yeah.
Like the energy was, like the whole place just erupted. It felt like the early '80s.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy, and the club had this early '80s vibe to it, and we were just both blown away. We're like, did we just get transported to the early '80s here? Like this is fucking insane, and nothing will compare to that Exodus show. That was probably the best time I've ever seen them. I've seen them numerous times, but unbelievable. They're better for me. I don't like seeing them in an arena setting. They're better in a small club, and they just always have been.
I will say this. I thought for me, the lineup for the 3 bands, Anthrax was my favorite, Exodus second, and Megadeth was third for me. I found Megadeth, some of the songs they sung were a little, the show went a little plodding. It went a little kind of boring in parts.
Yeah.
I wasn't keen.
I would agree with you on that stat
Yeah.
of worst to best.
Yeah, and I think maybe Exodus for me it was the energy more so than the sound, probably because I was so close. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, and my first time seeing them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, guys. Well, we're gonna get just our last little segment here, and then we'll wrap things up. We talked about maybe doing just quickly our top 5 American non-Big Four thrash albums. So obviously you can pick any album, but they just can't be from Anthrax, Megadeth. Who else is in there? Slayer and Metallica.
Slayer and Metallica. Yeah.
That's right.
So who wants to go first?
Well, I'll go first.
Okay, Ken, light it up.
Yeah, so this is pretty easy and simple
Yeah.
because since we started Thrashcast, we've talked about a lot of these albums. Like, for me, I have Overkill on mine because Overkill, Under the Influence, great album. It's the first one that I actually bought from Overkill, and I love the cover. The cover was something that really got me into it, and I love the. My favorite song is "Hello from the Gutter" on that album. I love it. That's such a great song, that's a group. That's a really good album, and they're not in the big four, but they're equally as important in my mind. And then the next, I have Testament on there. So I have Practice What You Preach. Again, I know we discussed this on episode 66, but it's the first Testament album that I bought, and it's the first one that I absolutely love, and I still love it to this day, and has a lot of really, really good songs on it. You know, Envy Life, Blessed in Contempt, Sins of Omission, Perilous Nation. It's a really, really good album, and I love that album cover too. There's a trend here. Good album covers will always attract me. And then, of course, I have Sacred Reich, and I know we discussed them on episode 2. I know Billy's a huge fan of Ignorance, and I like Ignorance, but I always preferred The American Way in 1990, which I love that album. I've heard it so many times. What's that?
Would you say it's crossover? Is it?
Yeah, there's some crossover there for sure.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say there isn't. Maybe I think there's more in Ignorance than there is in The American Way. Right. I think The American Way sticks to more of a thrash template, but I think it's a great album. I've always loved it. I like every song on it. I even like the 31 Flavors. I know a lot of people trash that song, but I think it's funny. I love that song. It's great. And then you have to have Annihilator. I mean, like Alice in Hell. How could you not have that on your list? 1989. It's a classic album. And again, we did that in episode 62. So, yeah, I got it on my list. And then here's another trend. Another episode we did, episode 5, and we did Heathen and Victim of Deception, which I think is a masterpiece if you want, like, progressive thrash. It's a fucking hour-long masterpiece.
You know what it is to me? That album, I love that album, but it's the Metallica album we never got after Justice.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree.
There's some tracks on there that sound like they could be on Justice, you know?
Yep. I totally agree with you, and I've read many people reviewing it saying the same thing. But it's a killer album. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, that's my 5.
Cool.
Good list. Good. Hey, let me ask you: does Annihilator count? Because he said American.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So,
North American. There we go.
You got it.
And then the other thing I wanted to ask you, Ken, about the album cover thing, good album covers. Yeah. Is it more often than not that a good album cover dictates the album itself is going to be good? Or is that, what would you say?
I think that's a fair assumption. Yeah, I think that's fair. Most of the albums that I like always had really good covers. And a good cover will kind of like bring you into it, right? Like,
yeah, it's the whole package, right?
It's like early Exodus, as we were saying, like the great stuff, but those covers stink.
Even
they
Bonded.
Don't do anything for me.
Bonded is terrible.
Oh the original cover is great, but the one that they replaced it with is a piece of crap.
Yeah.
I think album cover art to me is important because I identify that because it's your brand, right? You're bringing your brand out to people,
and you're more apt to believe in the whole package if part of the package, like the cover, is good, right? Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Look, Halloween's Pink Bubbles Go Ape is nothing. Give me a break. Like,
yeah. You know immediately before you even put it on. Fuck off.
Okay, Jason, what's your 5 must-have non-Big 4?
All right, I'm going to go, excuse me, from 5 to 1.
Yep.
So number 5 is Demolition Hammer, Epidemic of Violence.
Yeah.
And we did that one 92. Too. Yeah, that's a great band. Yeah.
Yeah, this album just absolutely incredible.
Oh,
so violent and chaotic. Yeah, masterpiece. You know, it's straddles the line. Okay, it's not a straight-up thrash album. It kind of straddles the line between thrash and death metal. And, you know, as fast as it is, there's also a groove to it and a catchiness to the riffing that you just didn't get at the time. You know, to me, there's a groove to it that reminds me of Obituary in a death thrash kind of vein. It's just that catchy. Production is great. You know, recorded at Moore Sound Recording, where all the big early death metal albums were recorded. Yeah, I mean, I think the songs on here are kind of the blueprint for what would later become the subgenre of death thrash. So, yeah, awesome album. And then what do I have? I have written down here. I have number 4, Violence Oppressing the Masses.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I
that's a good
fucking
one.
love that album. Yeah, I know people prefer the Eternal Nightmare,
Yeah.
usually over this one. This one's kind of looked down upon compared to that one, but kind of everything. I never. The first time I listened to Violence was this album, so
Okay.
I didn't know what Eternal Nightmare was. So listening to this, everything just clicked for me.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to Eternal Nightmare, I like that album, but hearing it after I heard Oppressing, this album is definitely much tighter, punchier, has a deeper production. It's just more structurally sound and has a bit more groove to it. And obviously the groove, obviously we would hear much more later, a few years later, on Machine Head's debut album, because both Phil Demo and Rob Flynn would leave Violence, obviously, to go form Machine Head. But yeah, this album has a really cool groove to it, kind of a crossover vibe here and there. And I also love Sean Killian's vocals on it. I think they're much better than they were on Eternal Nightmare. He has a bit more. They're a bit more rhythmic, and I think he really found kind of his pacing and cadence on this album. He's one of my favorite thrash vocalists, and I love his work on this album.
And it's interesting you brought up Machine Head, because Ken, you'll like this. I almost put Burn My Eye, the Machine Head album, Burn My Eyes, on here. I was like, oh man, I want to put that on here. I want to put
Good
that.
album.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I
Good
didn't.
album.
did you were you torn if it was a thrash album or not?
No, I think for me it is a thrash album, and I love it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't give it as much chance as till Ken suggested we do it on the show, and then I bought it like a week after.
Oh, so you weren't familiar with it when it came out, or
Not as familiar. More
Okay.
from Machine Head, like the what's the first, the Summoning, is it, or the
the Blackening?
Blackening? Yeah,
Yeah,
Blackening. Yeah.
yeah. But I love that. That's a wicked album.
yeah, it's good. Yep. And then my number 3, no worries. Number 3 is Forbidden, Twisted into Form.
Good one.
Yeah, I think Okay, so this came out in '90. I think this was. Tell me what you guys think, but I think this was the last truly great Bay Area thrash album.
Oh.
Now I know what that says. That says that anything Testament did after it is not great. But I'm talking about a definitive, like fucking, just genre-defining album. I think it's the last truly great one from the Bay Area. Would you guys agree with that, or do you think there's other ones?
Well,
that
it's my
came
number
after?
5. It's my number 5 pick on this. So yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No,
I mean,
I think
along with
I
Death
think you're
Angels Act 3, because Act 3 came out 2 weeks after this, so they're right around the same time. Sorry, Ken, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you're probably right about that.
Yeah.
I think Billy and Jamie and I have discussed this, and I think we do kind of agree. The consensus is, yeah, it's probably one of the last great thrash albums coming out of the Bay Area. I
Yeah.
think that's fair. That's
Along
fair
with
to say.
Act 3. We can't forget Act 3.
Along with Act 3, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know those albums came out 2 weeks apart. It's crazy. But
That is great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a super awesome album because it's obviously super technical. It's a much darker album than the previous one, Forbidden Evil, even though I do love Forbidden Evil. This one, I don't know, it just has a more ominous vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just has everything that you want in a good thrash album. It's got the incredible riff work from Craig Lociero and Tim Calvert. Tim, who went on later to join Nevermore, obviously super talented guy. Paul Bostoff, before he joined Slayer, just awesome on the kit. Russ Anderson's vocal performance here is perhaps one of the best in thrash metal. I think his control is absolutely perfect. You get the mix of his really awesome gritty moments mixed with his super high register, and they're just flawless on this album. So I think it's kind of the perfect thrash album, in my opinion. So yeah, number 3 is that. Number 2, it was a tough one here, but I chose Nuclear Assault, Handle with Care.
Nice.
Maybe we've talked about that too.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. I think it's the peak of the band's songwriting. I mean, Game Over is an incredible album, but it was a much looser album. It was a much punkier album. It was a much more kind of, dirtier New York album. And this one, it was just a more put together album. More cohesive listen from start to finish. Not one skippable track on this album, in my opinion. It's my favorite Nuclear Assault album. Too bad we don't get more stuff from them. But what a great time, thrash. You know,
Oh,
1990. This was 89 for that album, but
wish I
89,
could.
90. Yeah, just unbelievable. And then number one for me is Overkill, Years of Decay.
Oh, good one. That's a good choice.
Good one.
It was hard. You know, you talked about Under the Influence, Ken, and I love that album too. And that was my first introduction to Overkill. And but this one, I don't know, something about it. You know, while most thrash bands in the 80s and were trying to outdo each other with speed, here comes Overkill saying we're going to slow shit down. We're going to fucking groove shit up and doom shit up. And they did. And they did it fucking
Played
phenomenally.
very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like compared to Exodus, this is just
Yeah.
Overkill made a doom album and it still sounds like Overkill.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
there's tons of atmosphere. It's still technically proficient. Who Tends to Fire and Years of Decay and Skull Crusher were just that.
Yeah.
Just massive skull crushers. They didn't abandon all the speed because we have their probably most well-known song Elimination on this one, which is a total scorcher of a track. Terry Date's production on this one is fucking awesome. The clarity to this, the clarity of the production is just perfect. Like you get that heaviness and the fastness all together in a perfect package. And one of my favorite thrash albums of all time. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we have a couple of doubles, but definitely double bands, different albums. But I'll start off with my number 5 was Forbidden, Twisted into Form. I mean, 1990. I remember buying this. I still remember buying it. A guy at the record store, Sam the Record Man in the mall, said, man, I hung out there like 5 times a week, so I was a fixture. He said, you got to get this. And I did. Blew me away, step by
Great
step.
cover art, too.
Oh, yeah. And I
Yeah.
loved it. I still, oh, man. And I think I definitely agree with you guys in saying that this is probably the last original thrash. Like, I love all of Death Angel's later stuff, or I like all of, I like all of Testament's later stuff. And I like, but this was so fresh and new that it was groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that. Going back really old school to Exodus, Bonded by Blood. Love that album. I mean, that's a classic. I remember I bought that at Woolco. You remember Woolco back in the day. And
You bought it on cassette?
I have it on cassette. I still have it.
And Woolco sold them.
my
Woolco sold them in those big long.
Yeah.
Do you remember? The
Yeah,
tape
I
would be up
remember that.
here,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the packaging would extend. Like I don't know why, but it was weird.
Yeah. I've got, it's funny because I'm going to do up a package. Oh, Ken, did you get that autograph yet? No?
No, yeah, no.
Okay.
Still waiting for it, dude.
Hopefully it'll come soon. But I'm going to send Ken a small box of tapes and I think I'm going to throw that one in for him.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Got original tapes, and I want to give him all my Anthrax, and I want to give them all, like, I've got some Sacrifice original tapes, and I've got over 500 original tapes. So I even have, like, Kill 'Em All on Bonsai Records, 3 copies of Ride the Lightning. I was crazy when I was a kid. Oh, I got a job when I was 15 at a pet store, and I had all my money went to heavy metal tapes.
Nice.
Yeah. It was great.
Cool.
My number 3, I'm going to go a little bit off here, but I love this album, Suicidal Tendencies, 1988. How Will I Laugh Tomorrow When I Can't Even Smile Today? I love that album. I don't know what it is. It's just, I remember getting it, fell in love with the band. I mean, how can you not fall in love with a band that's banned in LA? I mean, holy shit, they're banned in LA. Like, come on. This is great.
Yeah.
This means they're...
It's a given. It's a given. Yeah.
Number 2, I went with Overkill, but I went with Horoscope, 1991.
Ah,
That's a
nice.
good choice. That's a good
Oh,
choice.
man. And you guys' picks are 100% bang on. The first album I got was Years of Decay, Under the Influence. But this album, I don't know. I think it was like our 3rd show, was it, Ken, or 4th show? It was
No, it was a bit later.
a bit later.
We did do. We
Oh, this album's a masterpiece, and I think it's just 1991. I mean, we were still in that thrash era and death metal era that, before it all kind of went to shit. And I mean, I love Overkill, is one of my favorite bands, and but I love that album. And my number 1 is Testament: The New Order. I could go with The Legacy. I could go with Practice What You Preach. I bought Practice What You Preach when I was on a trip in Montreal. But I got The New Order, and I mean, this thing, I just fell in love with it. 1988, And holy cow, there's some great albums in all three of our lists there. That's pretty cool. But Overkill, it's interesting because when you brought up if Overkill changed, well, they kind of did, but it was funny because when Metallica's latest album came out, it was on the same day Overkill's album came out, and I thought the Overkill album was 10 times better.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's right. It did. Yeah. I forgot about that, Jim.
Yeah. So
I don't think Overkill's capable of releasing a bad album. Honestly,
no, they're always
they're
good.
consistent, right?
And I think they have one coming out on the horizon.
I think there was one that
out.
I wasn't so partial to, and it was the one after Horoscope. I can't remember the name of it. But,
is that the one? I Hear Black?
Yes, that's it. Yeah,
okay.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'd have to go back to it, but
yeah. I Hear Black. Yeah.
It's interesting though. I think Overkill is the only one on all three of our lists.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was going to put Death Angel on here, but I would go with more.
I was surprised you guys didn't put Act 3. I thought for sure.
No, Act 3 is a great album, but I like Frolic, and the Ultraviolence my favorite. So, and I like Frolic even better. I like Act 3. Don't get me wrong; it's a landmark album. I love it. I would have loved an Act 4 like the next year or whatever, but then they went on their sort of hiatus for quite some time. But man, it's just I think Frolic's a really good album. And I love
I like too.
Yeah, and I love Ultraviolence. I love the 10-minute the song The Ultraviolence. I love it. It's 10 minutes long. It's an instrumental, and I actually it's probably one of the only instrumentals I just constantly will play on my playlist.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, guys, that wraps up our show.
We should at the top of this. I said we need to give Billy's take on the album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Billy didn't like it. Okay, yeah, so Billy didn't like it.
Yep.
He's had it for a while. He's listened to it a bunch of times, and he a lot of what he says is what we were saying too. He doesn't think it doesn't sound like Exodus to him. He doesn't there's not enough hooks for him on it. He said that he didn't no choruses. The choruses were weak. Not enough hooks. And yeah, that's so he generally. I'm paraphrasing, but I mean, generally speaking, what he said is pretty much how we feel. Well, he did say this. He did say it's one of the worst albums of 2026 in his mind.
Wow, yeah,
that's what he said. That's what he said. So I'm like, I don't know if it's that bad for me. It's meh. It's kind of meh in the middle for me, but that's generally what he said about it.
I don't know.
Do you guys like it more than the Megadeth album?
I think I might like Megadeth more.
Jimmy?
I think I do.
Yeah?
Huh? Yeah, I don't know what it... I like. I go back to this more than I go to the new Megadeth, although I gotta admit, after seeing the new tracks for Megadeth live, like Let There Be Shred, and the other one there, I Don't Care, and I saw the crowd... I don't know if it was just the crowd, the younger crowd participation on I Don't Care, where I was like, and this song is wicked live. So I think Megadeth will rank higher for me because it's Megadeth. It's my second favorite band of all time next to Metallica. But Exodus, I think, will make my top 15. Maybe.
Really?
It'll be a full mention.
Well, let me say this. Is it better? Do you guys think it's better than Force of Habit? Because Jason, you were saying earlier that you actually liked Force of Habit.
Yeah, I prefer Force of Habit. Yeah.
Okay.
And I did a comparison.
Right.
The reason I brought that up is because I had been listening to Force of Habit I'd listened to whole discography in comparison to this one, and I was like, I'm going to pay more attention to Force of Habit, and I listened to it a couple times actually in preparing for this. And yeah, I do like Force of Habit now. I hated it at the time, but it's a good album. It's actually a good album.
It's a great album.
Bad. Yeah.
I like it only a hair better, and the reason why I like it better than Force of Habit is just it's probably just a little bit better production for me.
Yeah.
Newer, but I got to admit, I was exactly like you guys. I didn't like Force of Habit at the start, but then it grew on me afterwards. It was kind of like some of the Creator albums in their sort of experimental phase too. That goth one freeze on. Yeah.
Cool.
Wicked. Well, guys, I guess we'll call it a day, and I want to thank everybody. Ken, thanks as usual. You're always on, and thanks to our guest Jason for filling in. Always a treat when you're on. You bring sort of you definitely bring. We got Ken, who's the artistic type. You are an actual musician, so that's cool. And well, I'm just the guy who hangs around, and we got Billy who knows it inside and out. So we got this cool team. But it's always a treat when you're in selling, giving us your insights. It's always
Appreciate
cool.
it. I love coming on. It's always an interesting.
So before
chat.
we go though,
yes,
next week we are doing Show No Mercy for Slayer, and Jason will be off, and he'll be away on his trip, and filling in. We have a special guest, one of our subscribers.
Nice.
He will be filling in. Online he goes by Owen, but his real name is Phil. Cool. He'll be filling in. He'll be coming in next week. So, and Show No Mercy is his favorite album, and he's always commenting on our threads. And he mentioned this to me months and months ago. But if you're going to do Show No Mercy, please have me on as a guest.
That's awesome.
Like,
That's awesome. Cool.
We will do it. So so joining Jim and I is going to be Phil.
I'll be watching from Norway.
Yeah, of course you will.
Well, have a good night, guys, and thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you so much, guys.
Have a good night. Care.